Okay, I think I'm live. Hi. I wanted to do a video with some really quick wins for healing. My middle child today woke up with a temperature, and I was thinking to myself, do you know what? I'm really glad that I've got extra stuff that I can fall back on in terms of the healing. But it occurred to me that not everyone else would have that, and at times you can feel kind of quite useless and quite helpless. And I just wanted to remind people that everyone is capable of working with energy. I have got a really fantastic blog. I'll probably pop it on the comments about how healing works, but it's love. So the fact that you want to help heal somebody and you want to work with them and work with the energy, and it aids the body's natural healing abilities. It effectively, if you've got a cut, imagine that cut healing quicker. That's what you're doing with your body. So you're getting your body to work more effectively and to draw on more energy and to heal quicker. So I wanted to give you my top tips for quick wins for healing, okay, which everyone is capable of. Whether or not you've had Reiki attunements, I want to give you the best techniques to use without Reiki attunements, okay? If you've got Reiki attunements, so much the better, okay? So the first thing that I wanted to talk to you guys was about channeling energy. We're all capable of channeling energy. We're all energy on a subatomic level. So you need to channel energy. You're not giving your energy. You're not giving your energy, and you're not drawing from the earth either, because sometimes if you draw from the earth, you can get linked into the earth's magnetism, and you're still drawing from yourself. So you need to draw from source. Source, if you want to visualize it in this galaxy, our access way to source is the sun. That's the sort of energy that the whole universe is made out of, that amazing energy, which we draw on in terms of vitamin C, and the plants draw on for photosynthesis. So you're imagining that you're drawing down that energy, and that energy comes into the crown of your head. So whether you want to visualize color, whether you just know, you've just got faith and you know that that energy is coming into you, whether you feel that energy coming in, maybe sensations, you know, that little tickling you sometimes get around the top of your head, and that energy is coming out of you. Generally it comes out of your hands, because your hands are energy in and energy out. But also when you're dealing with somebody that you love, the energy is certainly going to be coming from your heart space as well. So imagine the energy coming in. And I would, if you're good at visualization, using your imagination, then imagine it coming in from sun, from source, from the divine, as a bright white light into your head and out of your hands, and let that energy do exactly as it needs to. Your intent is always going to be for the greatest and highest good. I'm just going to type that up so you've got that there. And also for that person's personal best interests. Okay, so for their highest and greatest good, and for that person's personal best interests. Okay, so you're not putting any intent on what you want the energy to do. The energy is an intelligent energy. Remember that the energy is an intelligent energy, and it will do as it needs to. So if you can get your hands onto somebody directly, perfect. If you've got a child, I would recommend placing a cuddling position's really good. So a hand on the head and a hand around the back or the base on the bottom, somewhere like that. If you have got somebody laid out, then certainly around the head. Think about moving down through their body, and moving down through head, heart, and torso is really what you're thinking about doing, to make sure they get healing all over, so that their whole system is boosted. It might be that you're having somebody with problems on their chest. You just don't want to focus on the chest. You want to focus on the whole being, making sure they've got the right mindset to take them forward, making sure that their immune system, which is, you know, in the spleen further down the body, is in the right position to boost and to take them forward. Make sure that the adrenals, which are in the back of the kidneys, are all working in conjunction and working properly. So heal the whole body. Don't think about placing the energy in any particular place, and don't think about where the energy goes. The energy will go exactly where it needs to for them. So don't overthink it. Just allow the energy to flow through you. What I would recommend is that you're kind of healing for around 10 minutes, something like that. Okay, if you find that it goes on for longer, fine. If you find that it goes on for shorter, fine. Don't worry if it doesn't feel like you're doing anything, because I guarantee you will be. Okay, I guarantee you will be. It's just that not all of us are sensitive to energy or have learned how energy makes us feel, etc. Okay, so that's how you channel energy. Okay, if somebody is very poorly, if they've got a very bad certainly secondary infection, when we're thinking about coronavirus, a secondary infection, what you actually want to do is to earth and ground off heavy energy. Okay, so this is when you do use the earth. Okay, so what you can do is just to feel a connection between this person and the earth. Place one hand on the person, and that sign, which people think is to do with the devil and things like that, it's not. It's to do with actually making a connection into the earth. If you think about two prongs on a plug, it's exactly the same thing. So you're looking to make a connection into the earth, and the earth is drawing off any heavy energy that that person's got. So if they've got an infection, if they've got something particularly nasty, then in that instance, I would use the earth in order to draw off that energy, and to get rid of that energy, and then to draw in the other energy in which to combat and heal. I hope that kind of makes sense with regard to energy healing. Okay, so next thing that I want to talk to you about is crystals. Okay, is crystal healing. Now, the wonderful thing about crystal healing, so I have put this together quickly for you because it felt urgent that I needed to get it out, is that use what you have. Okay, so you will find that you have got crystals in your house. You may not realize that you've got crystals in your house that you can use, but you absolutely certainly do. Okay, so have a look around your house. If you're somebody like me who's just got some mega collection, then you're going to be sorted. If you're somebody whose children collect crystals, I can guarantee you're going to have some crystals in there that you can absolutely use. I'm going to tell you my favorite ones for using, but have a look for the crystals that you've got, and I want you to think about cleansing the crystals that you have. Okay, so to cleanse your crystals, especially if they've just been sat around, you've maybe had them on display, that type of thing, what you need to do is to earth them off in the first instance. Okay, that's what I would do, is to earth them off. Okay, you can use water, particularly spring water, for some, but not the ones that end in ITE. Okay, because they will melt. Okay, so what you're thinking about for second, bring that up. What you're thinking about for cleansing the crystals is to earth them off, put them out on the ground, put them out on the earth. It is sunny at the moment, so you can actually put them on the earth, allow the earth to drain off any of the heavy energy that's there. You might actually be able to visually see a difference in them, and then allow the sun to charge them and the earth to charge them up as well. They are from the earth, so returning them to the earth is always going to be a winner. Okay, for me, that's the simplest way to do it. You can use water, spring water, but there comes a caveat with that, and the caveat is that the ITEs, your fluorites, your selenites, calcites, they don't do well in water and they will break up. Selenite, for example, goes to complete mush. So if you don't know what crystal you've got, you don't know the names of the crystals, which is common, that often happens even in this house, then pop them out on the earth, allow the earth to drain off any heavy energy and allow them to build back up their healing energy. And then in order to set an intent, all you literally have to do is to ask the crystal to heal. Okay, so you get the crystal and you ask it to heal and to help with the healing process. It might be that you're drawn to use a crystal. It might be that, like I said, you've only got certain crystals, and the order that I would do it is to use any dark crystals that you've got first. Okay, so crystals are intelligent energy, not in the same way that source energy is, but they have got a life force behind them. And so by saying to them, what I want you to do is to help heal, my son's really ill, my daughter's really ill, my husband's really ill, my father's really ill, please help heal them. You can absolutely ask them to do that, and they will do as you've intended them to do, as you've asked them to do. Okay, so use the dark crystals first, and I will tell you the reason for that is because they ground off energy. And I'm going to give you a couple of examples that I've got here in my house, which you might have around your house. So this one here is a dark Vulcan jasper, Seftonite it's also called, and it's related to bloodstone. So bloodstone might be one that you've come across on a regular basis. It's dark, got red in it, sort of black with these reddy bits in here. Okay, so this is an egg, and these are the sort of things you kind of pick up on holiday, or the kids pick up on holiday. Okay, this is amazing for physical healing. Okay, because particularly this is like a bloodstone. This will help the blood. You can imagine this helps the physical body. Okay, so this is really, really good for grounding off and taking away the heavy energy, which is what you want to get rid of first and foremost, is the heavy energy. So asking that to absorb what it needs to absorb. You can imagine it's sucking up all the negativity because it's black. It will absolutely do that, and I would leave that on for as long as you need to. But generally, again, you'd be probably looking at sort of 10-15 minutes, something like that, when you're working with crystals. So I would pop that one either in your hands, in the person's hands, on the person's heart, next to them. They may be laying in bed, you may tuck it in next to them. It doesn't really matter. It just needs to be in that person's aura, and leave that there for a few minutes to take off the energy it needs to. I've got another fantastic example here, which is a hematite. Kids are always picking these ones up. This is a magnetized one, and I forgot, and I stuck it to my computer and I couldn't find it just now when I was looking to log on. This is one of those little hematites that basically sticks to everything. So you might have some of these in your house. Hematite is named after the Greek for blood, hema. So it's a really good physical healing stone. It's a really good for physical healing. It absorbs negative energy. Okay, so there are two crystals there that I will add on to the banner for you, which are, so you've got the spelling, if I can spell, okay, so hematite and bloodstone are the first two that I would use. You might find that you've got something like this. I picked this up in a charity shop. Okay, this is like a dark agate type almost marble type crystal that you'll pick up. This is perfectly good for healing with as well. Okay, right, then what you want to be looking at is something to raise the vibration, is to raise the energy. Okay, so you want to couple the, oh sorry, I forgot one more stone, which for me is one that often gets picked up, is the tiger's eye, because it is nice and shiny and it has that sort of cat's eye shimmer to it. If I can get it focused, you might be able to see the sort of cat's eye-ness to it. Okay, so you can see by the color of it, it's very earthy, it's very dark. So when I spoke earlier about grounding things off, the tiger's eye is going to work. Okay, let me get that back up there for you. Right, okay, so tiger's eye is another really good one. Okay, because it is it's got that earthiness to it. It will ground off what you need to ground off. And when you're looking to pick energy up, okay, there's quite a few different ones you can use. Okay, so you use your light colored ones afterwards to raise energy. Okay, and I'll show you which ones that I've got, which you'll probably find that you may have some of these around the house. The first one that I've picked up is a great big chunk, because I don't do stuff by half when I do healing, and this is a rose quartz. I don't know if the camera's picking up on the pinkness of that, but that's a rose quartz. Okay, this is something, I've got another rose quartz here. This is a little heart rose quartz. So you might find that this is the sort of thing that you've picked up just for fun somewhere. Okay, make sure it's all cleansed beautifully. Ask the crystal to help raise that person's vibration and heal them. This is the healer's stone. The rose quartz is the healer's stone. Okay, if this is all you've got, you're onto a winner chicken dinner. Okay, right. Rose quartz, I'd highly recommend a rose quartz. The other thing that you might find that you have in your house, which is really good for healing because it brings in the violet flame. The violet flame is a vibration of healing. You can be attuned to the violet flame, but many of us will be able to channel the violet flame anyway. Okay, it's a really high-end angelic spectrum of healing. It's a spectrum of white, and it's a spectrum of healing. This is a banded amethyst. Okay, so we're talking about amethyst here, and this is banded with the white. This is, I love this stone. This is a non-banded amethyst. This is a typical purple amethyst. Okay, if you can see that. Okay, it brings in the violet vibration. That's really high-end healing that you want to use. Okay, other stones that I would highly recommend is a jade. I couldn't get the jade because the baby's in bed, and that's where the jade is at the moment. But jade comes in a whole host of colors. Generally, it comes in the sort of muttony white, and it comes in the green, and the green for healing is really, really good and really powerful. But generally, it's an all-round healer. So if you've got other colors of jade in the house, you might have little jade ornaments, that type of thing, then absolutely use them. This one here is an aventurine, which kids often pick up. Kids are really drawn to aventurines. They're really good healers. So green, it relates to the heart, which is why it's such a good healer. Okay, which is the same as pink, why that's such a good healer. They relate energetically to the vibration of the heart. Okay, and when you're healing with love, so you can see where we're going with this. Okay, these are quartzes. These are clear quartzes, and I'm going to talk to you about those in just a second. But I'm just going to add on there for you the rose quartz. Amethyst, aventurine, jade. Okay. Now I'm going to talk to you about clear quartz. These are things that you might pick up in places. Okay, you might have some of this clear quartz around. This is programmable. It will do any job you ask it to. So if you hold one in one hand and ask it to get rid of your negative energy or the heavy energy that you're holding, or the person who you want healed, and place it beside them with that intent, or in their hand, asking them to have that intent, and pop this in the other hand, asking it to draw in the positive energy. That's exactly what they'll do. And literally, because I've set that intent on it now, I can feel it doing that in my hand. If you're holding them yourselves, you want to put the energy in your dominant hand. Your energy comes into your dominant hand. So if you are left-handed, and the energy in intent goes on your left hand. If you're right-handed, the energy in intent goes on your right hand. And you're looking to release what you need to and draw in what you need to. These are really easy to program. So you can literally ask them time and time again just to reprogram themselves and work for different purposes, but they can hold a huge amount of energy and a huge amount of information. So if the clear quartzes can be programmed, and it's the sort of thing you might find that you have a couple of little bits around the house that the kids have picked up in places, they're perfect to use. Okay, so you're probably looking at that being a 15 maximum, probably 15-minute healing, because I'm not talking about doing a big healing. I'm not talking about you sort of sat there and spending hours doing things. What you can do is to do your Reiki while you've got some crystals tucked into somebody, and do those two things at the same time, or do those things on yourself. So if you're looking to do it for yourself, I would recommend you put your hands on your head, on your heart, and then on your tummy, with those crystals popped in next to you, asking them to heal you. And you're going to find that will really help boost your own natural healing system. A virus, which is what we've got going around at the moment, unless you've got a secondary infection, a virus is something that our bodies have to naturally get over themselves. There's nothing that that's the whole design of them. The whole design of them is something that we have to get over. So the more you can do to boost your body's own natural healing capabilities, the better. And so do everything that your doctor's telling you to do. Drink plenty of water. Listen to your body. If your body's telling you that you want to sit out in the garden for 5 or 10 minutes for some fresh air, do that. Breathe that fresh air in. Ground yourself off. Allow what you need to go to ground. Anything that looks like self-care to you, you must be looking after yourself. The biggest thing that a virus responds to is self-care. Make sure you look after yourself. Make sure that you're self-caring. Make sure whatever that self-care looks like, drinking plenty of water, herbal teas, all of that type of stuff. There are lots of alternatives you can use on top of this. So you can also look for a herbalist, to speak to a professional herbalist or an aromatherapist as well, in order to see what nature literally has in terms of plants, in order to raise your vibration and in order to heal you, because those things will work fantastically as well. So the last tip that I'm going to give you is self-care, herbalism, and aromatherapy, and get advice from a professional in those areas, so that it really boosts your chances of getting through this. So I know that I'm just going to have a quick look at the comments. I know that was a quick run through, but I really felt the urgency to get this out for you guys tonight. Okay, just gonna go through a couple of questions. Elaine has asked, can we use a pot plant because she's in a flat? And actually, it's a really important point at the moment. If you're unable to go out and you're really having to quarantine or self-isolate, absolutely you can use a plant pot. Absolutely, you can use it. You won't be able to use it on a regular basis because it will hold the energy. So you might, if you're going to do it on a regular basis with your crystals, you would need to change the dirt in it. Okay, I'm loving all the comments. Thank you, guys. So I am going to sort of leave it there. I'm going to respond to some of your comments directly on Facebook, but please, if this is something that resonates with you and you think it's going to resonate with others who are kind of stuck and looking for something to help themselves, not quite knowing what to do, please do feel free to share this out. That's why I've done this. It's kind of like my little potted version of healing that I know, and the healing that works for me. So keep yourself well. Feel free to share this out, and hopefully I have given you something that makes some sort of sense. I'm also going to pop up some links to my healing blogs, which talks about the basics of healing, so that if you or a friend reads this and thinks, I don't quite understand the basics of healing, it's there. I've also got a separate video as well about distance healing and how to work with distance healing. So if you've got loved ones that you're worried about, again, I've got a separate video about distance healing that you can use energy healing and also crystals for as well. But I'll get links to both of those up for you. I'm going to love you and leave you. So long. Bye-bye.